On a serious note, though, I can't imagine a time when I won't feel like it would be right to skip this song or this moment without acknowledging Chester. I told a lot of people too that in terms of like the type of show I want to do, I don't want to have a sad show. I don't want it to be a sad show. The album is called Post-Traumatic. It's not called Traumatic. The post part of it means that we're past something and looking to the future and seeing where that journey takes us. And I don't know where it goes. Yeah, you can make some noise for Chester, hell yeah. Man, I remember the first time I met Chester, he was like, I don't know what the metric conversion is, he was like 115 pounds. And he had these nerdy glasses. He looked like the guy that like, he was a nerd in spite of the fact that he didn't get good grades. And I kind of just love that about him. Like I asked him if he liked, we were just talking about this band the other day, Sunny Day Real Estate. I asked him if he liked Sunny Day Real Estate, and he said, yeah. And then he proceeded to say something about the band that indicated to me that I knew he didn't have any idea who that band was. And he was just saying it because he was a people pleaser. Like he just loved to make people laugh and to like connect with people. And just such a good dude, man. Just such a good dude. So for any of you guys who have been through something traumatic, any of you who have lost somebody that you love, it's important to celebrate them. It's important to remember the good things, like the awesome things about them. And one of the awesome things that I had the privilege of doing all the time was singing this song with him and with fans like you guys. And it was the song that kind of like took us from being a baby band in our garage to a band that anybody cared about, right? And I always asked everybody, on this song I want you to sing Chester's part, okay? Thank you so much. The warmth I feel here, you guys are just so friendly. You're just like, Thailand is incredible. And by the way, the food is like some of the best food in the world. I'm not even joking, I have some mango and sticky rice. So if we end up cutting like 5 songs out of the set and leaving early, it's just because I got really hungry. You guys know I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. I enjoy being up here with you guys too much.
We're hungry too.
We're hungry too.
We're hungry too. Let's eat together.
She said something really important. Hold on, she said something really important. What did she say? Let's sing together. We'll sing together. That's good. We're starting the song all over. Let's get serious for it. I want to get serious for 1 second because the song it's a serious song, it's an important song for me, I think probably for all of us. Because I feel like there was a part of me that when I was putting the set together, I wasn't sure if there were certain songs that would be too emotional or maybe like, I don't know, like I don't know, maybe it is emotional or something, but And I reminded myself that there are times when we need to take that energy and we need to turn it into something that recharges us and empowers us. And I know there are some of you who've already said to me, even while the short time that I've been here, there are people that have said to me that they've gone through some really difficult things in their year or in the past few years or in their life. And I may not understand exactly what that is, but I understand a version. And for me, I grew up going to this festival in the valley in Los Angeles that my dad in particular always wanted to go to. It's called the Obon Festival. And it's a Japanese festival. And they did it, the Japanese American community in Los Angeles did it. And the Obon Festival is a festival to celebrate the people who have passed away. To celebrate them. And when I was a kid, I didn't know what that really was for. I went there basically to play the carnival games and I wanted to get there were these little styrofoam airplanes that were held together with wood, like little tiny pieces of balsa wood that's really light. And I just wanted to go there and get prizes and win the carnival games. I didn't really know what the thing was about. But I really appreciate it now. I appreciate the fact that we went. I appreciate the fact that the idea of what it is, which is that for those that we loved and continue to love, who passed away, that we should celebrate them and not let it be a sad thing, but let it be a joyful thing. So can we get joyful about this right here? Can we make some noise for Chester Bennington, please? Don't you ever let anyone forget that Chester Bennington is one of the greatest rock singers of all time. I don't even know if I knew, as we were in a band together, I don't think I even recognized, I just thought my friend was a fucking awesome singer. He was literally one of the best ever. That's crazy. Let's celebrate Chester right now. I want you guys to sing this so loud that he can hear you. You guys sing Chester's party. You ready? All right. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. What? I have to say, the Korean fans are some of the most generous fans. I mean, you guys, since the second I got here, you've been so vocal and so wonderful, and you've given gifts and just been so generous. Can I turn your attention really quick to our friend Chester? During the to spend a moment thinking about some fun times that I've had with him, because I don't ever want people to come to my show and feel like it was a sad show. I don't want a sad show. Joyful, cathartic, and meaningful show, but I remember Chester was really funny about when we would have days off and we would go sightseeing in the city. And have you guys ever seen the pictures of Chester in Korea? He was like sightseeing and trying on like the traditional like outfits and stuff. Always hysterical, man. He was always like such a joyful energy, like a true, like he would just walk into the room and like the energy would double. With that said, I don't want this to be a somber thing. I want you guys to sing this as loud as you can, okay? Yeah. I can't hear you. You gotta help me out. Let's do it. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God. Those guys are great, huh? Yes. I don't want you guys, by the way, for the record, I don't want you guys to think that just because these gentlemen are up here with me tonight that I've forgotten about my bandmates in Linkin Park too. I love those guys. I love those guys. Phoenix texted me the other day and asked how the tour is going. And it's weird. It is so weird getting a text from Dave, man. It's just really weird. But at the same time, I'm really grateful that, I'm grateful that I've got friends who will support me in that way. You know what I mean? Like, they know. I think that's one of the reasons why I wrote certain songs on my record, is because I wanted them to know that I definitely care about them. And on that note, can we make some noise for Chester Bennington, please? I'm not gonna stop you. It's all good, man. That's maybe the loudest cheer, the longest cheer by far for Chester. That was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, man. You know, it's funny. I always felt like, well, one thing that distinguished me from him was that, like, when we started. I started the band with a friend of mine named Mark Wakefield, and Mark and I were just friends from high school, and we would make music in my parents' bedroom, in my parents' house, in my bedroom rather. And Mark and I we had like $150 guitar. We just had a bunch of like cheap like kids, instruments and stuff basically. And fast forward to the band kind of becoming Linkin Park and becoming what it was, it was always the case that I was never the guy that wanted to be up here in the spotlight. I didn't dislike it. I enjoy it for sure. It's always nice when people, give you attention or celebrate they like your stuff, right? But Chester was a guy who he grew up always knowing that he wanted to be a rock star. At the beginning, I thought that was really kind of weird. Like, I thought, I don't know, man. Like, maybe it was like something, it felt like something like, you want attention or whatever. But I realized that's not what it was. Like, he was very much just built for that. Like, it was his calling. It was the thing that he was born to do. And there's no, I realize now that like, not like now this year, but like in recent years, that there are some people that are just like born to do something, and it's the only thing that they ever wanted to do. And that's really special. If you guys, if there's anyone out there tonight who has something that they feel like, man, you know, I know I've got a day job, or I know my parents expect me to do this thing, but what I really want to do is this other thing. And sometimes you have to have the courage to decide to do that other thing. You have to have the courage to chase it, even though it might seem unlikely, or other people might not understand you doing it. So on that note, I want you guys to sing this for Chester. I want you to sing it as loud as you can, because every time we've ever done this song, I've said, I want you guys to sing Chester's part, okay? Chester! He looked at me and kind of laughed when the driver said it, and he was laughing because in America, we don't, like, people don't usually just say I love you like that. Like, they usually just don't, you know, like you. They say nice to see you, nice to meet you. If they know the music, they say, you know, I love your music. But for some reason, people in the United States, they don't just say to somebody who's kind of a stranger, I love you.
I love you!
So I want you to know that I think that that's really special. I think that's fantastic. And I don't even have to guess that that's a story that I will tell people. When I go back to the US, I'll tell them that that happened, and that I think that's really wonderful. That's really something remarkable and admirable, like something we should do in the US. For the record, like, you usually say it to like your family or your friends or your wife or your husband, whatever. Yeah, but it was just really nice. I want you guys also to know, it made me think though that like one place, one group of friends in my life that I never felt like we had like that. I never felt like that word was missing, or those words were missing. I always felt like we said I love you enough. We said it a lot, was in the band. And we always told each other, I love you, man. And we always told each other how much we appreciated each other. And that goes for Chester especially. He was very, Chester was somebody who would tell you, like, often, and he'd tell you with 100% sincerity that he said when he said, I love you. He would say it to you. Maybe Chester was actually in his heart, maybe he was Chinese. So that's a good, I wanted to share that moment with you guys, because in this part of the set, there's a chance that sometimes people feel really, heavy emotions if you talk about Chester, And I want you to know, I was actually speaking to Matt Harris, about that in the show, and I said, I hope I'm not being insensitive by making this moment like too celebratory, too upbeat, you know, because I don't want to disrespect anybody who is feeling really intense emotions and who does just feel really sad. And he said, don't worry about that, because I think it's not a problem. I think that the people who feel heavy emotions that we all know in this forum, in this space here, that's all very safe. Like, you guys can feel whatever emotions you're gonna feel. That is completely valid, and neither I nor anyone around you is gonna think anything about it. If you're super grateful for the music that Chester sang, if you're sad that he's gone, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling both, that's 100% okay. With that said, yeah, you want to make some noise for Chester? Make some noise for Chester.
Chester!
Thank you for that. So I want you guys to sing Chester's part as loud as you can. Are you ready to do that? All right, let's do this. I'd like to take a quick moment, real quick, and also quick. I'd like to take a little moment. Can we please make some noise for our friend Chester Bennington? This year has been it's been insane, and it's been a roller coaster. And the new music, post-traumatic and solo music that I've been putting out, that I put out, it's just started as a cathartic way for me to kind of cope with things. And then I was just jamming on little things, and the jams turned into songs, and the songs turned into an album. And I have to tell you that one of the reasons I wanted to do that and wanted to come out here and be with you guys is because your support has really helped me get through the year. So I want to say thank you. I wanted to come out here and say thank you personally. And as part of that, I think that it often is so, you know, cliche, but music is really, there's something healing about music. And there's something that I've always, whenever I'm dealing with something difficult in my life, I always turn to art. I turn to painting, drawing, and I turn to music. And that's what I did this year. And so to be able to come out here and do it with you guys is a special thing for me. I hope for those of you who are dealing with something difficult in your personal life, that coming to a show like this helps heal it, makes you feel better. Yeah, anyway, that's my wish for you. On this one, whenever I play this song for like over 10 years, I always ask the crowd to sing Chester's part. Are you gonna sing Chester's part with me today? Yeah. Instrumental, and he sang on it, and we were blown away. And he flew out, or he actually drove out to LA and slept in his car, I think at Lincoln Park in LA, in Santa Monica. And when he came in to sing, it was just undeniable. It was just like you heard that voice, and you went, just like all of you, I'm sure did, when you heard his voice, you went, holy shit, what is that? And that's one of the things that this is all about. This is not about sadness. This is not about grief anymore, really, for me at least. And I want you guys to know that you're 100% allowed to have any feelings you have. And my feelings are about celebration. because Chester Bennington was one of the best singers of all time. And we were all just fortunate to know him. That's the bottom line. And we were just lucky to have him in our lives. We were lucky to have the amazing songs that he sang. And I'm grateful to him for being, I don't know, for being like that vessel to like make these songs come to life. And I'm grateful to you for supporting the band for many years, and especially for this last year. You guys have been wonderful to me, so arigatou gozaimasu. Please sing this one as loud as you can.
Somebody asked me if I get to certain points in the set and if it's hard to do, like, you know, to do this. And I'd say, like, in the beginning, like when I first went out by myself, I actually did it all by myself. I did it with just this right here that you see right here. And that was, I think part of the reason I did it that way is because I knew that I'd be really anxious about it, that it'd feel really, really weird anyway. And so I wanted to make it as weird as possible for myself, you know, like, it's almost like if you know that the water is going to be really cold, then you don't like dip your toe in it and like slowly get in, just like jump in all the way. So that's I think that's kind of why I started things that way. And it helped, it was a part of the thing that helped to like get me comfortable with getting up here. The other part is obviously you guys. That helped as well. And it's not, I don't think it was like, I think there was another thing though. I think there was another element that made it feel not just okay, but like made it feel good. And that is, well, I'll say it like this. Like when I was growing up, we used to do, when I was a really little kid, we used to go to this one carnival in LA. And it was a Japanese-American carnival. And I'd go and the things that I'd be most excited about doing was playing the carnival games. And because I wanted to win, you could win like a goldfish, or you could win like a wooden, like a little styrofoam plane with like the wooden middle. They flew really well. They had cool graphics with like tiger jet face thing, sharks. And I didn't even realize as a kid what that festival was really all about. It was the Obon Festival. And the Obon Festival is all about celebrating the family and friends who have passed away before you. And I was reminded of that this year, and something in my head just kind of clicked that's really, I don't want my show to be all about that at all, not at all, but there are definitely moments when I want to do that, and those moments are some of the most special moments. In saying that, I want to make sure that you guys know that first of all, I don't know when I get up here and I'm doing this, you know, when I'm talking to people this way, I don't like think of this stuff before I get up here. I'm just speaking, you know, from the heart and letting you guys know what's going on in my head. And I think the one thing that I wanted to get across tonight is that in doing these, feeling this way, some of you guys are going to feel a lot of different things. Like some people who come here and they want to hear the Fort Minor stuff, or they want to hear the new stuff, and they want to hear the upbeat. They want to party, you know. And other people, they come because they feel like something is like unfinished, or they need like a closure. And And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. Like if you want to come and you want to laugh, or you want to come and you want to cry, that's okay. Don't ever, ever, ever be ashamed of that. There's nothing wrong with that. Thank you.
We love you, Mike.
So on this one, like we always do, I've always asked everybody for I don't know how many years, I want you guys to sing Chester's part as loud as you can, okay?